a staggering number of unlawful deaths and police killings under President Duterte's war on drugs, killings of human rights defenders, and the threatening of independent media and journalists. The United Nations human rights experts are saying violations in the Philippines are simply too much. They are calling on the UN Human Rights Council to establish an independent investigation. The council is made up of 47 UN member states elected by the UN General Assembly.
Therefore, the United Nations will look at the special procedures which are available to it. And talking about the special procedures, it tries to put into examination what are the international human rights treaties or conventions that the Philippines, as a state party, has entered into.
The UN will then issue a formal communication to the government for them to do a probe. The government will then respond whether or not it's open for an investigation. The UN Special Rapporteur on Extrajudicial Killings, Agnes Calamar, submitted a communication to do so in 2017. But President Duterte himself declined and even threatened to slap Calamar. The Human Rights Commission says it's an opportunity for the government to prove critics wrong.
And if we do have nothing to hide, then even more so that there is compelling reason for us to open ourselves to this process of finding out whether or not the worsening human rights situation in the country.
The palace calls it, in a statement, an outrageous interference on Philippine sovereignty. It says the president's war on drugs is based on the state's primary duty to preserve and protect the people. It also says law enforcement authorities like the police are operating on strict protocols. Spokesperson Sal Panelo even called the rapporteurs as peddling bias and false information. The CHR, however, is still hoping the government to let the rapporteurs enter the country.
As a principle, because we have entered in good faith in all of these conventions, then we do expect the Philippine government to stand by its commitment to honor those international human rights obligations, and part of it is to allow special procedures such as the United Nations to conduct an investigation.
For human rights group Karapatan, it's time for the Duterte administration to face the music. But what if the Philippine government really refuses to allow the investigation? De Guia says this will send a wrong message that the Philippines is not giving importance to human rights. The UN can also employ extreme measures like economic sanctions as a last resort. De Guia, however, says the UN will first exhaust all diplomatic means to solve the problem. Rex Remitio, CNN, Philippines.